into the ocean.
Right.
Because for such a man, in order to speak like that, he already knows the word. Mm-hmm. So to be bold enough, or crazy enough to know the word and to purposely, consciously mislead in that manner like that,
and to wear that rebellion like a badge of honor.
Yeah, that is just look. He may get a few attaboys amongst the progressives and all that because they feel that they're undermining us or undermining America or undermining God or whatever. But I'm telling you, my friend, people like that, they are the ones who are going to be crying in their soup or in something a lot hotter in the future. But the thing is, as we continue to deal with people like that, the charlatans, the false teachers, who are going to be coming out, there's going to be more of them that will be coming out boldly. They're going to trot some out probably during the election process, some liberal preachers, and they love to find liberal evangelical preachers because evangelicals were known for being conservative, and they'll try to snatch out these liberals amongst the evangelicals and say, see, even they're evolving and they're seeing the light. I could name a few people, but we're not to do that. One famous preacher, I think he's headquartered in California, and his initials, and I won't even give the initials because everyone would know who he is, but when they start saying that the homosexual lifestyle is okay and God approves it, or there's nothing wrong with it, and I'll go with some people have asked me, well, Ron, why is it that there's certain things that you'll get on and you'll say that we just cannot approve of this to become the law of the land in America, and you speak out against it so strong. I said, look, the United States better make sure that she is not the first major nation in the history of planet Earth to make homosexuality a part of their written laws, homosexual marriage. I mean, other nations have corrupted, and that became a big activity. Mm-hmm. But to go one step beyond that and make that part of your written law, oh my God!
Well, that is really the objective, because the fact is if we can make it, if we can take God's law and we can redefine it and tear it down into humanistic civil law, then the church has no foundation for anything. And I've got to interrupt you, Ron, because we got to do commercials here. We're over right now. But we'll continue this with Ron Edwards from the Edwards Notebook with us, and we're talking about the war on Christianity. We'll be right back on the Conservative Syndicate. You can catch all our show archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted financial expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known and syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live, every Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. With Bob, you'll get the right information at the right time, firsthand, from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Bob airs live every Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on blogtalkradio.com/Robert Cardoso Live, or you can choose any one of his archive shows at blogtalkradio.com/Robert Cardoso Live. That's blogtalkradio.com/Robert Cardoso Live for complete and honest commentary on politics, finances, and culture. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. Okay, hey, we're back on the Conservative Syndicate here. I'm with you. I'm your host, John Matthews, with you Monday through Wednesdays, 5 to 8 p.m. out here on the West Coast and 8 to 10 out in the East Coast, and whatever time zone you fall in between. And, of course, we're globally syndicated. We're on 7 different affiliates right now, so you can pick us up at prime time somewhere in the world, everywhere. So visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. I've got Ron Edwards from the Edwards Notebook with us today doing his weekly contribution to the show. And we left the conversation off at the fact that one of the arguments, or probably the big argument, the one that the homosexual community has not been able to overcome, if they're able to overcome this one argument, they'll pick up, I think, much more momentum, not only in the outside world, but within the church itself. And that is homosexuality just limited to sex? They want to tell us that it's more about genuine affection and this, that, and the other. We would call it lust. What they're basically saying is that lust equates to love and all the emotional attachments and everything that goes with it. Certainly not the case from a theological perspective anyways. But again, the point being here is that what the attack is going to be from this point forward, it's going to take on a much more, much more prevalent or evident flavor to the argument, is that we Christians are basically passing judgment. That's always been the argument. It's never been about our beliefs on homosexuality. It's always been twisted as to our beliefs against homosexuals. It's never about the act. It's always about the person. And basically what they're saying is that we as Christians, we're either elitist, we're hypocritical, or whatever. And what we do is we're judging the person rather than judging the activity of the person. This is the message that the church needs to articulate in response to the arguments. It's got to be put out there in such a way that they understand we're not talking about hating homosexuals. We're talking about warning homosexuals that their activity is going to lead to their destruction, just like any other sin practiced on a regular basis will do. The Bible tells us very emphatically, those who practice these things will not inherit the kingdom of God, and sodomy is just one of them. Okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that would apply to the heterosexual community: adultery, thievery, lying, things like this. So, there's a lot of different ways for people to end up in hell, and it's not just homosexuality. But one of the things that came out of this argument, Ron, is that this rogue pastor, he says that it's careless to treat the gay community as if they're choosing their path of orientation, because what we are implying in the church is that they are naturally wired to be straight, but are making the conscious decision to act in direct opposition to this. And so you are charging them with the most profound emotional treason. So the idea here is that because emotion is tied into this, which is the crux of everything liberal, it's how you feel. It's not what it means. It's how you feel. And what we're basically doing is we're charging them with emotional treason because we're saying, hey, you're supposed to be a man or a woman, and you're not acting in accordance to that design. Therefore, there's something wrong with us in pointing that out. What's your take on that?
Well, there's something wrong with him for pointing for what he's saying, and so we have to be bold enough to slam back with the truth. The truth is he's a liar, and the truth is not in him, and he has become a man of the dark. I hate to put it that way, but he is. He's telling nothing but bald-faced lies. And again, I would love to sit down and discuss with this gentleman about the facts. First of all, if that lifestyle is as he seems to portray, is something that is ordained or okayed by God, it would not be something that kills you. First of all, medically, it is dangerous, more dangerous than cigarette smoking to the health of the body. So why would God put something together like that kills people, that puts them in dire straits? Second of all, God said don't do it. And even if something, excuse me, huh? But here's God said don't do it. But here's the thing. Let's say if there's, some people do have chemical imbalances, mm-hmm. and chemical imbalances can affect you in a myriad of ways. And there may be a very small smidgen of the population that, because of a chemical imbalance, their brain may be a little touched, and they may think a certain way that, maybe that way or whatever. But no, you're supposed to encourage them and let them know that's wrong. Just like someone was telling me today, because of a chemical imbalance, their child has, I cannot pronounce the word. I can't think of it right now, but it has to do with their spine, and because of it, their spine curves, and they're not able to do certain things.
Oh, yeah, like multiple sclerosis. Yeah, like multiple sclerosis or something like that.
Yeah, it's kinesis or something like it's trinesis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Uh-huh. And they may be a little harder to teach certain things, but that's chemical imbalance. And chemical imbalance there's a few leading hospitals that are saying that because of chemical imbalance, there may be a fraction of 1% of people that may have the proclivity, but even they say it's medically induced. It is not because people are created that way naturally. And so if they want to bring up an excuse like that through the medical profession, even based upon that definition I read, even they didn't say, well, because of that condition, that person would be right to go out and act upon that particular way of thinking. So therein lies the duty, the clarion call, for those of us who know the truth, to continue to tell the truth, and not to back off.
You guys are being so nice and kind.
Huh?
Yeah.
You guys are being so nice and kind. I just would like to just put it a whole nother way. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the reason is you're stupid and you make bad decisions.
Yeah, well, I put it this way, and I'm going to close it up here because we're running out of time here. I like to look at it this way. If there is any biological validity to somebody being wired wrong, if we can put it that way, even that is tied theologically to the Bible as what's referred to as a generational curse. So either way, it can be biological, it can be psychological, it could be any number of things. It doesn't make it right. That's the bottom line here.
Right.
Is that no matter what the cause is, doesn't justify it. And in the eyes of God, as Ron said, he says it's bad, so you don't do it. I don't want you to do it. In fact, God doesn't even say it's bad, other than say it's abomination. He just says don't do it. That's what it is.
What do you need?
Yeah, we got to close up here. We're about a minute and a half out from the end of the show here. I want to, Ron, real quick, let people know how to find your website.
Well, they can find it at theronedwards.com, and we welcome you there to check out some of my latest columns, which are they're archived columns, they're archived editions of the Edwards Notebook Commentary, and there's other good information on there where I'm going to be having speeches and different events I'm involved in. And also, you can tweet me. You can communicate with me on Twitter, at the Ron Edwards on Twitter. Also on Facebook, in my Facebook group there, Friends of the Edwards Notebook. You can patch in and request it to join that group. And that's about it. You can hear me on radio stations around the country, 32 markets so far, and also includes some internet sites. And one of the great shows that you can catch me on, the Edwards Notebook, is right here.
Okay.
On the John Matthews Show.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and we'll be talking to you again next week. Okay, guys, we're done for the night.
You and Joe.
We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow, 5:00 Western Time, 8:00 out on the East Coast. And we've got more for you coming up tomorrow. We're going to continue this to some degree, and of course, all the other stuff that's coming up. So God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.